Hey guys, I have absolutely no time this week to film a video, hence why this is uploaded late, but I thought I'd do the rapid fire book tag because it's quick, it's easy, and hopefully I don't have to do that much editing, so I'm going to get right into it because I literally have about 20 minutes right now, so I'm just going to go for it. Question number 1 is ebook or physical book? Physical books is great for displaying things and sort of bragging about how many books I've got and it all looks all pretty, but ebook for actually reading so I don't end up with a handache holding a book because I end up with handache within 5 minutes of holding one. So, essentially both. Question number 2 is paperback or hardback. I prefer paperback, if I'm honest, because they're a bit lighter and it's easier to carry around with me and to sort of put in places like this because they take up slightly less room, so paperback. 3 is online or in-store book shopping. Online is easiest, to be honest, and sometimes it's cheaper, especially with Kindle books, because obviously they're like 99p or something like that, so I prefer that level, but I also really like sort of going in-store and buying books because it's all very zen in there and you can sort of see them all, and I feel like there's more options when there really isn't, but both. Again, I'm terrible at this. Number 4 is trilogies or series. Trilogies, because I can get through them quicker. 5, heroes or villains. If we're talking about superheroes, then generally the hero. If we're talking about other books, anti-heroes / villains with a tragic backstory. I like villains with a tragic backstory. I like villains in general, essentially, so villains, on the whole, yeah, villains. I really like villains. 5, a book you want everyone to read. Good Omens by Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett. Most people have read Good Omens from what I can tell by its popularity, but I just want everyone to read it because it's really, really, really good. Number 6 is recommend an underrated book. Marvel 1602 by Neil Gaiman. I don't know. I don't really pay attention to like underrated books and popularity and all the rest of it, to be honest, so I'm just going to say Marvel 1602 by Neil Gaiman, essentially. Last book you finished was Loki, Agent of Asgard. If we're talking about physical books, then it was The Gospel of Loki by Joanne Harris, if I remember rightly. I can't remember, this month has been insane and I haven't read much. Last book you bought, God knows, the Christmasaurus Live Musical Edition, I think. To be honest, I've lost track. I'm actually going book shopping today, so that answer's going to change. But at the moment, I think it was the Christmasaurus Live Edition. Weirdest thing you've ever used as a bookmark? You know fruit pastels? You know the little tinfoily bit around the actual fruit pastels? Yeah, that. I've used that quite a few times as a bookmark because it's just been there and I haven't had a bookmark with me, so I just used that and it's still in the book right now. Used books, yes or no? Yes, in theory, but I don't own any because I usually buy mine new. But yeah, used books, I agree with the concept, and if I did ever like have to buy a used book, I would do it. Top 3 favourite genres: YA, fantasy, children's. It's essentially all I read is YA, fantasy and children, so yeah, those 3. Borrow or buy? Buy, definitely, because if I borrow a book, I don't necessarily plan to read that book straight away. Like, whenever I buy a book or obtain a book, I don't really say, right, I'm going to read that right now. So it could be months before I get to it, and that's probably going to get me in a lot of trouble. So I prefer to buy my books, because then I can just read it whenever, and I don't have to worry that much. Characters or plot? Oh, see, characters in comic books, I prefer. But mostly I prefer the plot, though if a character is really, really, really annoying in a book, I will stop reading. So it really depends, to be honest, on the genre and how good the plot is and just how annoying the character is. But definitely in comic books, though, it's definitely character over plot for me. Long or short books? Short books, essentially. Anything over 400 pages freaks me out and I don't like it. I do like it, but it takes me so long to read, it intimidates me, so I prefer short books. Long or short chapters? Short chapters, because then it feels like I've read more when I've probably read about the same amount if it had been a long or a short chapter. But short chapters make me feel like I've read more. And the first 3 books you can think of. Oh god. Marvel 1602, A Conjuring of Light by V.E. Schwab, The Christmasaurus. Books that have made you laugh or cry. The Hogfather made me laugh a lot, by Terry Pratchett. That makes me laugh a lot. Crying, I don't really cry at books, to be honest. I can't think of any that have made me cry. There have been some that made me completely freak out because of the ending or whatever. But Books don't make me cry. I'm emotionally dead inside, so books don't make me cry. Our world or a fictional world? Oh, it depends on the world, because our world is awful, but fictional worlds don't have McFly in them, they don't have Marvel in them, and they don't have Sherlock, and I couldn't live without those, or any of those other things. But if it was the fictional Marvel universe or the X-Men universe, I'll be pretty happy there. But I don't think I'll be happy anywhere else, because I wouldn't survive on the Discworld or anything like that, because the Discworld is the one that I automatically go to. I wouldn't be able to survive the Discworld, I know that much. Or fictional lands like that I wouldn't survive in, because they're too medieval, there's no Wi-Fi, and I couldn't deal with it. But if it was something like the Marvel universe, where it's this universe but with superheroes, I can totally deal with that. I'll probably die, but I'll be happy there, I think. So a mixture of both, could you say? Sort of worlds that are very similar to this one, but with added bits, I'd say. Audiobooks, yes or no? In theory, yes. Personally, no. Because for everybody else, I know audiobooks are brilliant. My aunt, for example, is dyslexic, and she has been really put off reading, but she listens to loads and loads of audiobooks, and she loves listening to audiobooks while she's going around sort of cleaning and cooking and all the rest of it, and that really works for her. But for me, my mind wanders if I just have to sit down and listen to something, or if I have to go and do something. I will not think about what I'm listening to. I will be thinking about what I'm having for dinner that night or whatever, and I will miss everything. So, in theory, yes to audiobooks, but for me personally, I can't deal with them, because I miss the story entirely, because I'm too busy doing everything else and thinking about stupid things. So, swings and roundabouts, I'm terrible at this. I'm just saying both to most of them. But ever judge a book by its cover? Yes. A lot. I judge books quite heavily on their cover, and I generally won't pick it up if it has a horrible cover, to be honest, or if I just don't like the cover, I generally won't sort of pick it up, to be honest. I'm terrible like that. But yeah, I mean, I've never cover bought anything. I haven't sort of gone, that's a beautiful cover, I have to have it. It's been more, I sort of get drawn to the cover, and then I pick it up and then go, oh, okay, that sounds good, essentially. I really do judge books by its cover, to be honest, and I really shouldn't, but I do. Book to movie or book to TV adaptations? Ooh, TV movie. No, I'm not going to say TV movie, what am I on about? For comic books, I'd say that book to film adaptations are amazing in the MCU, especially with stuff like Deadpool and things like that, but book to TV, maybe, because then you can sort of fit more in, and you're more likely to sort of make, like, a series with more, like, the details from the actual book in them, and most of the book to film adaptations I've seen take bits out, change them, and really screw with them, like Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children did. But apart from that, I think I prefer book to TV. I think my favourites have always been the Sky One Terry Pratchett adaptations. I'm sure Good Omens is going to be up there, and stuff like that. So I'd say book to TV, I reckon. Yeah, I'd say book to TV. A movie or TV show you prefer to its book? Oh God, that's... I am gonna say Sherlock. I know I'm obsessed. I'm utterly obsessed. I love that TV show. I worship that TV show. But for me, I can't deal with, like, Victorian books. I'm not very good at them. I'm trying to work at it, but I can't get my head around it. And I also can't deal with crime novels, because my brain does not work like that. It doesn't take in crime novels. It sort of goes, no, you're reading about crime, can't do it. I think it's because I've spent too much time sort of watching crime drama, so I'm sort of used to watching it on TV and having it just sort of spoon-fed to me instead of me having to do any work. So I can't really do it. And I definitely want to read Arthur Conan Doyle's original stories, because it's Arthur Conan Doyle. You know, I just need to sort of gather up the courage for it and gather up the brain power for it, because otherwise I can't do it. So I would definitely say that I prefer the TV show to the books in that respect. And that's the one that I have preferred generally. I can't think of any others. I'm seriously behind on all the book to TV adaptations, so I would say that one. It's the only one that's come to mind. And series or standalones? Series, I think, because it means I have more to read and there's more of a sort of overarching storyline to it. I prefer that generally. But if we're talking about, like, at the same time, I really like standalones. Because standalones I can sort of really sort of get into. Because then once I've read the standalone, I can put it down and then I don't have to try and find the rest of the books or anything. And if it leaves you on a cliffhanger, I get really annoyed with the author. Because then I don't have another one to read. But I would say I do prefer... I think I prefer series. I think I prefer series. Because then I get more story. I think. Yeah, I'm going to go with series. But that's the end of the rapid fire book tag. I keep on wanting to call it the quick fire book tag. It's the rapid fire book tag. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I know I mostly said most of those because I'm an idiot. But I can't decide. I'm terrible at deciding. But it's also early. I haven't eaten breakfast yet. So my brain's a bit all over the place. So my answers may have changed if it had been later in the day. But... yeah, that is the rapid fire book tag. I don't know who I'm going to tag with this because, to be honest, I don't know who's actually done this tag or what. So I'm just going to say, if you haven't done this tag and you want to do it, go and do it because it's really good fun. If you like this video, please do give me a thumbs up. And if you agree with any of the things I said or disagree or you have any recommendations for book to film adaptations or book to TV adaptations, please tell me all of that down in the comments below because that'd be great. But if you also want to see any more of my videos, please click subscribe here, and over here will be the link to my previous video, and all the links to my social media are down below in the description. But until next time guys, bye!